What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lady Nika, and with last night's episode of Greenleaf, this is season 3, episode 12, Day of Reckoning. Before I begin the review, I want to thank all of y'all that's been under my posts, my community posts, as well as Facebook and Instagram. I made a post letting y'all know that, I was going through my own little situations and things that kind of was getting the best of me. I'm not sick like physically. This is more like of depression, and I'll talk about it more later. But right now, I'm still dealing with that. But last night was a really good episode, and a lot of y'all have shown me in the views that you really dig my Greenleaf reviews, whether I'm on camera or not. Y'all seen it come through. I've had my first Greenleaf video review go over 1,000 views, and I want to thank y'all for that, because I came into this realizing that I wasn't going to probably get a lot of reviews on Greenleaf. The first 2 seasons I loved it from the jump, but I guess I had to grow into my season to be able to make these reviews entertaining. Plus my channel growing, so that could be a lot of it too. But either way it go, I appreciate y'all. I really do. I want y'all to know y'all thoughts and prayers. I've been feeling them. They've been hitting me through my spirit, because I see myself coming out of this funk, this depression, And like I said, I'll talk about it more later as I'm able to. Right now, I'm too deep still a little bit in it to feel like commentating on it. Plus, this is the Greenleaf review. So we're going to deal with that right now, and we'll deal with everything else later. Also, before I begin, I have put up the post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for Fuck Shit Friday topics. I have gotten probably almost an hour worth of stuff already sent to me, and I've researched it. But because I don't shut it off until actually a certain time that I put on the post, I will allow it, if you still have topics that you want me to discuss, for you to put it down in the panel section of this video. If you haven't already submitted it on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, it may be too late unless you're watching this video, because I've already been over there and I'm not going to retract and go back and see. So if you haven't already put it there, you might want to put it at the bottom of this video, because otherwise it won't be included. I'm going to try my best to be on camera and make this as lively as I possibly can for you all, because I push through even in turbulent times. I still push through, bitch. That's what I do. I'm a warrior. Okay? So, if you got something you want me to talk about, put it down in the panic section of this video and I get it. If you've already submitted it on either one of my social media sites, I already got it. So, there's, you don't have to tell me again. And I already got Kim Porter passing away. I already got, who else? Shit. Y'all, I got a whole bunch of shit. But the stuff that happened today and yesterday, I got it, okay? But just let me know. Anyway, let's go on into talking about Lady May and all these people now. Like I said, I'm not about to disappoint this close to the end of the season. And for my love things, I pushed through and got my little notations together, and I'm coming through. I only have an outline, so I'm hoping I can remember. I'm trying to go off the dome. I got a small outline that I made with me just simply thinking about what I saw last night. So if I do leave something out and it's important to the story, put it in the panic, and the conversations always continue down there. And I will be answering comments tonight and tomorrow morning to try to catch up on them. Now, we open up with Grace asking her mama yet again, is Lionel my father? Lady May say, I told you I don't know. Then she turned to face Grace and said, if you going to hold that against me, go on and do it now. Go on and scream up and down these hallways and get it out your system so I can be free of this. Grace said, Mama, no, I've never done anything like that to you. Lady May say, okay, well, if that's the case, Grace, I don't want to speak of this ever again. And she walked away. And I said to myself, how do you drop a bombshell like the man that she's known to be her father, however many years Grace is old, it could possibly not be her father, and think that by you saying you're not certain, that should be the end of the conversation. Lady May got some real serious, deep-rooted issues when it comes to trying to keep up an image and not wanting to face the truth. I feel like in the end it's going to be a part of her demise. I ain't talking about she going to die off the show or die, period, but her ways are going to lead to her demise. But let's keep going. We then see Grace call Aaron and tell him that basically she got nowhere with her mother, so she suggests that they do a paternity test, and he's more than willing to go along with it. She told him she will hit him up about that situation when she get time and date when they can go into the DNA testing center. We see a scene where Lady May and Maxine are getting their pedicures and whatnots, and May tells Maxine Grace now knows, and Maxine said, good, now you can be free of that. Then they do a little lighthearted shade about who is the worst, who did the biggest problem. I mean, which one of them is the biggest hoe, her or Bishop. Now it was lighthearted, they laughed it off, so it is what it is. Now over to Carissa and Jacob's house. He's not able to reach Tasha on their phone, and he begins to get extremely worried. And Carissa is feeling like he's more concerned with Tasha's well-being than what's really going on with what Tasha has caused for the family and the church. He tell her he worried about both of them. He said, if you had seen or heard what Basis said to me, you might be concerned too. He said, girl, I'm worried about getting us out of this mess, and I'm worried about my daddy too. I'm worried about getting us all out of this, as well as Tasha. So that's what my concern lies. She has to go talk to the FBI. She said, well, you come in here and you pacing back and forth, and you on the phone, and not once have you tried to hug me or show any concern for me. So then he tries to hug her, and she wouldn't let him. And I'm like, girl, what you want? Do you want this man to hug you and show you some love or what? Now, I understand that Carissa got a reason to be upset because her husband almost cheated on her yet again. But girl, you know what you got, and right now ain't the time, daughter. This ain't the time for that. We trying to find this girl so she can make her next move, her best move, and clear us all. Okay? Now, Jacob says at that point that he about to go over to Tasha and Base's house. Carissa said, but she's not answering. He said, yes, but we got to try to find her so she can talk to the FBI. That's our only hope right there. So, let's go over to Tasha and Base's house, okay? Rochelle over there talking to her and thinking that it's just a kiki how she had Bishop thinking they had sex. Tasha don't feel that way. She don't want to hear that shit. She tell her, I don't want to know nothing about that. Rochelle said, well, you're going to be hearing a little bit more about it because I got more stuff to talk about. And as she's saying that, Basic come in talking about they got to go. He said Jacob and them are going to come looking for Tasha, so they need to get up and go. He tell Tasha go upstairs and pack up and ask Rochelle, did you get that what I asked you for? She said yes and pointed to a suitcase that was up under the couch. When he opened it up, it's money, honey. It's money, money, money. Tasha says she can stay there and promises not to say a word because she don't want to go with them. Basie said, no, I don't trust you no more. So, you go on with me. Then Tasha asked, where did that money come from? She asked Rochelle, is that the money Bishop gave you to invest? Now, from what I got, this is the money that she stole from the Bishop, and it's supposed to go toward paying off one of Base's debt, but he takes a few racks out and say he needs that. Plan change. They headed to Mexico and gonna live off that money, the three of them. So that's why they need to get their butts in gear and get ready to go. Tasha again says, she don't want to go, and Basis say, well, you going anywhere, and tell Rochelle to get her packed and meet him at some location that they familiar with. I don't remember. He's saying that he gonna buy them some new clothes, new shoes, and bottles, honey. He tried to kiss Tasha on the forehead, and she turned her head because she don't want no parts of this. So he leaves, and Rochelle tell her to pack, or she gonna pack for her. Tasha goes to pack because for some reason she's scared of Rochelle. I don't know why. Now Jacob makes it to the house after they done packed and left, and he can tell by how everything is kind of thrown around that they gone. And he looking like, damn. Now, Grace calls Aaron to give him the time and location to where they need to meet up for the DNA testing, and she's asking him, please just don't tell Kevin. So he said, okay. Now we meet up with the lawyer, and he's explaining to Bishop that he and Jacob can actually really go to prison for this because they got a case of bank and wire fraud on you. But he tells Bishop, you kind of got a way out of this situation. He tells Bishop he wants him to basically pretend that he's senile. Bishop said, hell no, he can't do that. They already trying to overtake my church. He refuses that idea and tells Grace, look, God already showed me a vision of my demise. He said, do you believe in visions? She said, I don't know. He said, well, that's the reason why I ain't going to tell you, but I'm just going to tell you this. It's not going to work like that. I'm not going to die in no prison. She asked him to tell her, and he said, no. You don't believe it, so you ain't going to believe it. So ain't no sense in me telling you that. But what I can tell you this is I won't die in prison. He leaves, and Grace asks the lawyer, so Tasha is his only way out of this. She has to come forward and talk. And the lawyer said, yep, if he don't want to go along with plan A, that's our only other hope for him is that y'all can get hold of Tasha Skanks and she will confess what she did. Now, Grace and Aaron take the test, and he tell her that he did tell Kevin about it because they don't do secrets. She asks, will Kevin tell Charity because Charity can't hold water and she don't know if she wants this out now. He says Kevin is not going to tell nobody. Don't you worry about that. Jacob then calls Grace and tells her that Tasha is nowhere to be found. He went to their house and it looks like they have fled. Now, let's go to Zora over there with Light Bright Ain't Right, also known as Isaiah. Now, she's doing some photo montages and video clips to help him out. You know, he's going to put that on the website to promote his upcoming tour, right? Now, he's not interested because he keep texting and ignoring her. So she asked him, is you texting a girl? He said no. She irritated because it's his business and she can't, she care more than he seems to. So to shut her up because he really didn't give a damn, he goes over and look at it and tells her that it looks good, thanked her and told her to put it back, go and put it up on his website, and then instructed her to go pack his clothes. She said, look, so now I'm packing clothes? I need a title. He said, you my girl. She said, no, I need all this work I'm doing. I'm your videographer and all this other shit she was saying. She told him that you need to go to your label and get me a paid position. And he didn't like it, but he said, fine, I'll talk to the label and walked out. Now, let's get her story on out the way because we ain't going to go through all of this. She packed his clothes and told him, his stuff was up on the website, and she informs him that she's leaving him. Now, the narcissist in his ass can't believe that she would leave him because he Light Bright Ain't Right? He goes to trying to tell her that, she don't need to do that, and he tried to degrade her, basically saying that she ought to be glad he stayed with her because her sex is trash. He said, I should have stuck it up in your cousin because she wanted me first. He tells her she ain't going nowhere when she attempts to walk out of the door. He closes it back. She tell him, I'm leaving you. You don't appreciate me. This ain't gonna work. I just did this because I was bored. But since you don't want to respect me, you don't want me to go to school, the best thing for me and you to do is go our separate ways. He tell her no and goes to put his hand around her neck and try to fight her. So they are in a struggle. He got her bent over on the counter of the kitchen island, trying to choke her out and scare her into not leaving. She's able to get hold of something and crack him across his head long enough to sting him, get him up off her. And she's smart. She grabbed her phone and went live. She knew once she put him on that live, he was not going to attack her. And she said, you on the live. Now watch everybody. Let everybody watch you. Allow me to walk away from you. Because this is over. And of course he ain't do nothing because, he a pussy cookie really. He ain't about that life. So she gets away from him and she gets to the bus terminal, what looked like to me. And she has called Sophia to come and get her. And as always, Sophia always come and get her, right? I'm so glad she was smart enough to go live, and she was smart enough not to let what he was saying get to her, because I don't think not at all that Sophia would have ever dealt with him. Now, I remember she thought he was cute and everything, but she wasn't doing all that. Now, the next scene takes us to Coralie calling Rochelle and saying that she not chancing no prison. She want to take her kids and run away. Now, mind you, Rochelle done got Polly and Tasha packed in the car, and they headed to me basically at that meetup spot, right? And be out. Coralie said she couldn't call Grace and tell Grace. She wouldn't understand, but she needs money to get away with her kids. Rochelle ends up asking her, where you at, Coralie? She says she at home, so she tell her stay right there. She on her way. We see Deacon Connie over at the church interviewing with some other man. He belongs to another church or whatnot, and she interviewing him because she got in her mind that Bishop is not going to be able to remain bishop of that church, and Lady Mae is out the question as well. So they trying to make some future plans. Well, Bishop is walking the hallways and happened to run up on seeing them together. So he walks up to him and speaks to him and remind dude that and Connie that he's still the bishop and that ain't gonna be changing no time soon, and told them to y'all, I'm gonna leave y'all to go on and finish trying to conspire. And he walked away. Now that pastor dude said, spoken like a man on his way out, and Connie just smirking a little bit. I said, oh, messy nosy bitch, child, they got women in the church just like her right now, trust me. Now Jacob and Grace is in the car. And I wonder what the hell they sitting in the car for. But he in that confession that Carissa think he in love with Tasha because they kiss. Now Grace surprised to hear that and asked him, are you in love with Tasha? He said no. She said, well, do you love Carissa? And he said, you know what? I realize now more than ever I do. And then we see a car pull up to the house, and guess who it is, honey? It's Rochelle Crosscutter, baby, and she got Tasha skanks with her. They been staking out Coralie place. Child, it's Tasha and Rochelle going inside to talk to old Coralie. Now, once they get inside, Coralie thanking Rochelle for coming, and then Tasha asks her to use her phone. And Rochelle said, Tasha, don't be rude. You can use the phone later, and tells her to sit down. She sits down, and then we get an aggressive knock on the door. Rochelle said, well, Coralie, was you expecting anyone? Y'all, Coralie white. So she just hit, I'm sorry. Rochelle said, don't open that door. And she did. And who was on the other side? Grace and Jacob. Child, it was a setup all along. Grace told Coralie about Rochelle and told her what Rochelle had done to her and her family. Rochelle said, and you believed her, Coralie? She said, not at first, but the way you acting now, I kind of believe it. So Rochelle decides to call the woman a murderer and say she crazy. Coralie said, I helped her because she told me what you did, like I said, to her and her family. At first, I wasn't really believing it, but seeing how you are now, I can believe that it's all true. Rochelle said, So she said, tell Tasha, come on, we family. Tasha said, no, I'm not. I'm tired of you. She said that she don't care. Damn basic too. She done lying with them. Jacob looked at Rochelle and said, she with us now. Rochelle started going off on Coralie again and then hit Grace. She told Grace, you think your money makes you better than me and you clean. She said, I know I'm a sinner and I'm going to hell, but you ain't no better. She said, you ain't nothing but a hoe, and I know what you did in Phoenix. And that damn Grace looked like that woman had told her tea. Now, what the hell did Grace do in Phoenix, y'all? I've been watching 3 seasons. I ain't heard nothing about her being no hoe in Phoenix. What happened? Anyway, Rochelle leaves and Grace tells Jacob that let her go. They need Tasha to clarify what happened. Rochelle Crosscutter can go, and I don't agree because if you ask me, Rochelle should have went to jail as well. Grace tell Coralie that she gonna tell the DA how she helped in this situation, and it might work in her favor. Just hold on. Outside, Jacob is telling Tasha, look, I need you to talk to these FBI people, but I want you to understand this right now. I'm married and I love my wife. What happened between us should never happen, should have never happened, and will never happen again. She said she understood and she would talk to the FBI. So the next thing we see is Bishop going to see Lady May and tell her that Tasha had went to the FBI and talked and explained what had happened, and this should all be cleared up in a few days. And she said, wonderful, I know you got to be happy. Then he mentions Connie talking to that pastor trying to conjoin the churches, and May said, don't worry, she'll make sure that that never happens. He said, well, good. He said, now go on, have your day, and then you can leave afterwards. She not liking that. She want to co-pastor the church. She said that she deserves it. If not, she deserves that position maybe even more than he deserves it. And see, I think that's why that ain't going to happen for her. He said, for months you been beating me down with your holy superior, what did he tell her? For months you been beating me down with your holy superiority when you are just another sinner just like me. He said, tell me what you did. Was it any better than what I did, May? Tell me. She got quiet. He said, pride cometh before the fall, and he walked out on her. Now, I get what he was saying. He said, we both did wrong. Yet you pacing around here trying to put my dirt out like I'm such a bad person when there is no sin greater than the next. Had she not been so prideful, he may have conceded to the idea of them co-pastoring that church. But now he want her ass out. And just, this ain't the first fall that Lady may have to take because of her pride. Now, let's go on over to a day with Lady May. She changes everything. Child, we got the spirit dancers out there doing their thing. Then Charity gets on the stage with a song. She's singing her heart out. And then Patty, a.k.a. Maxine Waters, joins her. And they sing, baby, they sing. And then Charity introduces Pastor May Greenleaf. And she comes ascending from this somewhere back in some stairwells in the back of the church, baby. She got on her floral print dress. Oh, child, she looking like the perfect little Asian lady. Yes, she was. She was giving a great sermon. It was all good. Bishop and Grace met up in the hallway as the services was going, and he was thanking her for always having the family's best interest at heart when even he was being a foolish man. Child, he got all teary-eyed thanking his daughter, as he called her, his daughter, his baby girl. She conflicted because she knows it's a possibility this may not even be my father, but she hugged her daddy with the same amount of love that he's given with her. Now over at Carissa and Jacob, he asking her, Carissa, look at me. And she mean as hell, mean as a snake child. She decides to look at him, and he says to her, I realized last night when I was talking to Grace that I love you. She said, you just realized that, Jacob? See, had he not said it like that, all he had to say was, you know what, Carissa, last night talking to Grace, I realized that, I almost lost it all again. I could have been in jail. You could have divorced me. Ain't no telling what could have happened in all of this situation. And it's from that I realized how much I truly love you and want what we have as a couple. He ain't say it right. That's why she receiving it wrong. She says she asks herself all the time why he married her if he don't want her. Why am I not enough? What's wrong with me? And he told her ain't nothing wrong with you. And he tried to go to console her. And she said, no, I can't do this anymore. The pain of feeling inadequate is too much. And she sounded like she ready to tell him that it's over between them. But then Miss Zora bust up in the house, and baby, she come in there with them puppy dog looks in her face. Jacob went to her and went to hugging on her, and Carissa is standing there crying because, the prodigal's daughter has returned, and it's a beautiful thing. I said, oh, girl, you might have got back just in the midst of time. I think your mama might be finna leave your daddy. We're going to hope that she don't. Then, over at the church, child, Basie done come to Bishop Chambers and pulled a gun and asked if he ready to die. Now, how he get in that church, y'all? Bishop said to Basie, you don't have to do this. Basie said he didn't want to. All he wanted was to teach him a lesson, but Satan or somebody always on his side, so the only way to stop Bishop is to kill him dead. Now, Bishop said, now, son, Basie said, I'm not your son. You killed my daddy. Bishop said, I didn't mean to kill your father, basically. He said, so now you admit it. Bishop said, if you kill me, that's 2 lives that I've taken, and yours will never be the same. And Bishop said, I think I'm willing to pay the price. In other areas of the church, Grace has got the results of the DNA via text and called Aaron over to the church. When he gets there, she hesitates. He said, Grace, you don't have to do this. She said, my daddy always had a light in his eyes when he looked at me. I don't want to even think about if that light was to go out by the results of this test. And again, Aaron says, Grace, you ain't got to do this. And at that moment, she hits the open button, and they both read the results of the DNA. But we can't see it. I was trying. Back in the bishop's office, he's still trying to reason with Basie. He said, you lost your church, your wife, and your soul. For what? To make me pay? When you and I both know vengeance comes from the Lord. You know this. Basie said through eyes full of tears, you still have to pay, Bishop. And asked him, are you ready to die? Now back in the sanctuary, Pastor May Greenleaf is still preaching. Oh, yes, baby, she is preaching. She said, my friend Maxine told me the truth will set you free and allow you to walk in your faith. She said the day of reckoning is today. And as she's saying that, Aaron and Grace walk into the sanctuary together. I said, And she saw them. Threw off a little bit, but she very much aware of them standing there looking at her. Back at the bishop's office, Bishop is walking up on Basie now at this point, and Basie is saying, back up, Bishop. He said, he started trying to convince him, you ain't got to do this, Bishop. Basie said, Bishop, if you are who you say you are, say hello to Jesus for me. But if you are who I think you are, you'll be burning in hell. And it went off right there. So we don't know what's going to happen. Next week is the season finale. I guess we will get some clarity as to whether or not Basie actually shoots the bishop. Because remember, he said in this episode, God has showed him a vision of his demise. And it wasn't in a prison. Will it be in his office, in his church? Lady May, prideful. Now, I really want, she thinks she can see, you can't tell a half truth. You got to tell the whole truth in order to fully be free. And I don't know what I don't know what Aaron and Grace plan on telling her, but we can only speculate. We'll see next week. But that was it. That was all. I think I hit everything, y'all. If I left something out, please feel free to put it down in the panic section. As I said, it always continues down there. And I will also try to get the Fuck Shit Friday video up tomorrow with me on camera, so that you guys can see me. And that's it, y'all. Have a good night. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.